our Woodland Airstream orders here, and we've got a couple projects that we bought parts for. One is to improve the shower door here. It was kind of eating its own sweep at the bottom where it was riding too low and it had ripped it. So we've got a new one of those, and we've got a solution for the height problem. I don't know if the shower door fitment issue is a flood trailer problem or an Airstream problem. If you've seen it, weigh in the comments, but here's the issue. So right now it appears as though the middle of this here is higher than the ends. And I think there's corrosion happening due to silicone caulking being used. But if you look, the door actually slumps. See how I can open that gap? I believe the door slumping issue is somewhat of a common problem because Woodland Airstream sells the spacer blocks to lift it up. What I don't know is if ours is particularly bad due to this corrosion happening under here and the raising of the center of the sill.
Well, it's like bowed, sort of arched.
It's arched up, yeah. Yep.
So, all right, weigh in, guys. Help us out.
This is clear silicone along the bottom that's spilled over onto the wood grain. And I'm wondering if this was added after the fact, but you can see where that corrosion rises up right there. And I'm wondering if that's part of our problem. And to be clear, we're not going to take apart the shower door frame to do this work.
Well, we can't take it apart.
Right. This is the part that thwarted us when we were removing the flooring from the entire trailer. We took out every bit of cabinet and everything else to get the flooring out from underneath. We could not remove the shower frame or this cabinet. Fortunately, we got all the flooring out from under this one because we had access. There's a strip of flooring here we could not get out, about 6 inches by a little over 2 feet. We've cleaned to the best of our ability under here. There's an access panel on the other end, and you can see a bit from this end. We can see that it's not a problem. We just could not get hands, tools, what have you, deep in there to remove it.
Without doing damage.
Yes.
Everybody was like, well, if you take that faceplate off, it basically causes...
It's removing the shower frame from the back. It's all glued. The aluminum gets bent. It cannot be reinstalled.
And then what happens is that we damage the finish. And honestly, the finish in here has a lot going for it, even after the flood. So yeah.
I was able to remove the old damaged sweep by loosening the screw down here on the corner and tugging the frame apart just a little bit. Hopefully, I'll be able to replace the new one using the exact same technique. Pay attention when you remove yours because it is directional so that the water sheds the right way and then it sweeps back into the shower correctly.
Is it going in okay?
It is. Now, it's got a little curve to it from being in the bag. I guess if you get yours, take it out of the bag right away and let it straighten out. That'd be my tip.
See it pushing against the area at the end.
It's getting there. See how it sweeps up over and folds back? The block has 3M double-sided tape, and we're going to place it in like this. The block is held with double-sided tape plus the weight of the door, and then the sweep will come in, and so I just need to make sure the length of the sweep is right where it stops at the block. Piece of the puzzle right here, you can see where that silicone has come loose.
Then barely.
Right, and what you could see was a puzzle piece shape there before Shanna rubbed it off where it had raised up.
Oh boy.
It's going to be interesting. Aluminum dust.
Well, this project is gonna take longer than we thought. We gotta get that silicone out of there.
Mm-hmm.
It's eating the
aluminum. What I thought was going to be a simple project is now going to take quite a bit more time. I'll report back. Have you thought about those washable carpets you like? Just wondering, my own personal comfort, you know.
But they're like for a 3x5, so definitely not the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
They're like $200.
It's a lot.
Yeah. I'm sure we could find a cheaper version, but it's not the washable ones, and I just feel like we should save for the ones we really want that we can clean.
New plan, we'll bring you along. What I'm gonna do is peel off all of the silicone stuck on the front edge. I'm gonna dig out the corrosion, and then I think I can knock the sill back into place very carefully using a block. Then the door should fit better.
Here's a quick explainer for what I believe is at the root of the problem. This is a staple through a piece of aluminum. Above it, there's a wood block spacer, and then the flat aluminum that's visible on the inside is on top of that wood.
What do those staples actually do?
I think they hold the wood to the aluminum
To give it the right height.
to get, and it's essentially a spacer to give it the right height.
Okay.
I don't know that I agree with the design theory after some usage, right? It's probably a good idea when it was installed.
Lights.
Thank you. So the main problem here is that the wood layer has aluminum on top, steel through it. Glad you're enjoying yourself. Wood on top, wood and aluminum with steel going through it, and the corrosion column everywhere that steel goes through gives you this rising up expansion as everything corrodes and comes apart. Able assistant.
Oh yeah. No longer binds in the middle like it was doing. I think we're in good shape here.
So do we even really need the blocks, or?
I think we need both solutions because we're still gonna need the block at this far end.
Okay.
Yep. So our sweep had an L-shaped end where the sweep was longer. We're gonna not do that. We're gonna cut it off straight because the blocks now occupy where that little bit of extra sweep went on the previous one. I marked it in here and then slid it out so I can cut it outside the frame. So I'm gonna do that now and slide it back. We've got it solved here. This sweep now does what it's supposed to do. I think the block catches a little bit, but we need the support for the door so that it doesn't kind of rack over time. So I'm pretty happy with how this went. Kind of discovered a bit of a problem, but I'm glad we did, and I think we fixed it.
It's actually a really significant amount of corrosion for such a small little
Space.
space.
Yeah, it was like a pillar around every staple.
Raising this up.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not good.
All right, well, let's get the vacuum.
Also from Woodland, keys for the back hatch at $14.70 a piece. A little pricey, but you can get spares. We only had one key, and I definitely don't like having one key for anything on an Airstream. Airstream owners know you gotta have a set of keys somewhere in case this door latches itself. Good news when you got a back hatch, another way in if you have the keys. I'm gonna go test these.
I'm gonna go serve you lunch.
Good plan.
All right.
Works. Read something interesting about these keys. If you don't have the proper key for this lock and you put in another one of your Airstream keys, you could possibly pull the lock cylinder out when it's unlocked. So I guess know that and be careful. Our outdoor area stuff has arrived, so let's get that set up.
It's a gorgeous day.
It is.
Wait, let's move those totes first. So I saw that. on somebody else's YouTube channel, their mat, and I asked them about it, and then they gave me a link and I tried to order the same one. This is my third attempt.
Okay. Hopefully it works out.
Several haven't arrived and I had to get refunded, so. With all the rain, I've been really wanting something by the step, so let's do this. Oh man, it's muddy and there's a hole in it. Let me show you. Over there. Got a hole here, and I've got a hole there. Huh.
So the explanation here is that you couldn't get one because the ones we tried to order wouldn't ship. Like you order it, but it wouldn't ship as if they didn't have one.
Right.
So we opted to go for eBay because they actually, it seems like
they had it, yeah.
But the game here is they're selling a used one as new.
I guess. I feel like today's kind of been an uphill slog. The quick projects are just taking forever.
Yep. The mat's not really working out.
The mat didn't work out. You messaged the seller.
I did. We'll see what they say. I really don't want to pay full price for one with burn holes in it.
2 burn holes, and it's got like mud and sand and stuff all packed in it.
Yep.
That's too bad.
Yep. Following up on the work we did on the hatch seal to make sure it's well covered in 303, I'm going to do windows now. So got a couple points on the windows people may find helpful. One is if your window is not opening, be very careful about putting kind of a side load or dork on it. You want to kind of get something underneath the glass and kind of carefully work it free from the rubber, and then keep it well covered with something like a 303 so it doesn't stick down, and minimize your risk of breaking it when it's stuck and you have to fight it open.
I've successfully made a mess in the kitchen.
Out of what?
Ingredients. How's it going?
Pretty good. Got this one done. About to close it.
Oh,
Want to help me?
Ready?
Yep.
Wait, take the stuff out. Hey, can you wipe out the bug graveyard with your rag, please?
All right. I think this one's done.
I hate these knobs. We need to order the nice knobs.
You do the metal knobs. Crucial upgrade for everybody that owns a newer Airstream with plastic window handle knobs. Get the metal ones from the older trailers. They're awesome.
They are so nice. I can't paint, but I can prep. So I'm going to do that. Andrew's taking the shipping, eBay shipping, to the post office right now. And I'm going to just put some blue tape on some of the edges as I go. Because that's the only thing I can really do. But let me tell you about the floor. I'm loving the fact that I can just like spray it down and wipe it. I can't really mop, but that's one of the things I love about it. What I don't love about it is every little nook and cranny where it's been painted white and dirt gets in there. It really, really shows. Not that it wasn't dirty before, you just couldn't see it. And so I feel like this is a pretty substantial improvement generally. It's wipeable, it's cleanable, but all the like textured wood grain will get like dirt in it, and so it takes work to clean it up as opposed to me being able to just like mop a floor that's all smooth. eBay hasn't been doing spectacularly. Now the inventory we have, we own it outright, and it's all profit at this point. So ultimately what that means is I won't want to take chunks of money and invest it into inventory where it's going to languish, and I'm not going to be able to get my initial investment back quickly. If you're familiar with Andrew and I, our philosophy is sort of to work while we're working. You know, I haven't quite figured out a job situation yet, but I have a couple of ideas. And I think I'm going to store the eBay somewhere else, free up some of that primo closet space, and we're just going to pause that. The value will still be there eventually in the future. We can always get back into it and sell it. We are 100% in the profit on that stuff. I think I already said that, which is great because I can just sort of set it aside, and it's just sort of future income. My mom is doing much better. She's out of the hospital. Andrew's getting settled in his job, and I feel like I will have more bandwidth for figuring out my next steps. Ooh, that's kind of unattractively applied. We've seen some YouTube growth with me now focusing on that as more of like a business instead of a hobby. We've seen a little bit of growth, more consistent numbers. Progress is being made, guys. Progress. In terms of growing YouTube, people have suggested that we do a Patreon. We want to find that right balance between boundaries and like self-promotion, you know? Hey man, how was the post office?
Good. Quick trip. It's not far from here, actually. What you been up to?
Is that a trick question?
I mean, I assume you've been taping your way around.
Yeah, I'm prepping since I can't actually do the painting, but as soon as I can, I want to be ready.
Yep.
So
Probably a good plan.
I'm just gonna, you know, gives me something to focus on. I've been chit-chatting with the camera.
All right, so that's a flat side you're going to tape out. On this side, I think I need to remove a couple cabinet doors.
And if we're removing the doors, I think we should continue with the hinge project, where we're taking all the hinges off and replacing them.
Right. Yep.
We've been doing it intermittently as we need to use a certain door or whatever.
Yeah, there's definitely a few bad ones.
I'm excited about the future closet space that we're gonna have.
Yeah.
Mostly for you, princess.
Just because I have to dress nice doesn't mean you have to make fun of me.
Oh, I have to make fun of you.
Trying to close a few loops on some projects we've been working on. We installed this power converter a few weeks ago, but we didn't have the display connection, and I'm gonna fix that now. So in order to get off Amazon to replace the phone jack end that is the communication cord for this, it got wet, and so it doesn't make good contact. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is a salvage trailer. This is our salvage trailer series, and we're finishing up some repairs, but there's a whole playlist with a bunch of videos for all kinds of stuff that we've done so far.
It really shows where we started with this accidental trailer purchase.
Yeah, it was an accidental purchase, but look back if you want to hear more about that.
All right, so we're finishing up this little cable. Have you ever done one of those before?
I haven't. This should be a pretty straightforward repair, but I've never done one before, so come along.
We'll learn together.
I'm not sure quite how far back I've got to trim this to get
good wire.
Get good wire. It's a very fine wire, and if there was water in the jacket, I'm not sure. You may be wondering why I'm doing this cramped in the corner under the bed here. I could do it outside from the front compartment, but out of nowhere it's like 105 degrees outside, and I'm not used to that kind of heat yet.
No, when it was 2 days ago, it was beautiful and like 80. What does that look like on the inside? Oh wow, those are little.
They're little.
Right.
So this kit came with 2 male ends. I'm only going to use one. There's different styles for these, and this is probably a little bit uncommon, but this style connector is more like a lot of the electronics connections now, and I got it because of this.
My goal is just peel this back to see what the wire order is so I can replicate the connections in this corroded one in the new one.
So in this case, the order is yellow, green, red, black. All right, let me get these stripped so we can get them in here.
This is kind of difficult and tedious because the wires are so fine.
But you're just stripping the ends so that we can put the plug on, or is it snap on like a Waco?
So these have a little screw that holds them in place.
Okay.
All right, just trying to line them up. Yellow, green, red, black. And then I've got set screws to tighten them all down.
Are you happy with that to test?
No, I don't think the yellow's in there. I gotta do it again. I think I'm happy with that, and I'd like to test it next.
I'm taking out the old cord, and the displays are slightly different sizes, so we're gonna have to solve that little problem. This one won't fit in the wall, but small problem. We'll figure that out if we can get this to work. All right.
So I'm gonna stay here and watch.
All right.
And you're gonna go plug that in, and I should see something, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's do
Well, this is interesting and disappointing.
I guess I misunderstood something. These are similar but not the same.
The contact area where the wires land is about the same, but the jack is wider. I'm gonna go see if I can figure out a solution.
Like everything else this week, this quick project has gotten complicated. So this is not typical phone jack, it's smaller. It's unclear what it is. Now, I do have a spare cable and I can essentially splice this one to the other one. I was hoping to not chop into a brand new cable just to get 2 feet of it, but that will solve my problem. Before I hack into this brand new cable, I'm gonna verify that it works with the inverter back there. The main goal here is to get a wire that runs through the wall. Obviously, I can't replicate that with this one in my hand. We can't chase it through the Airstream wall.
Can we though?
We have the floor open, but no.
Whoa.
And there she is.
Well, that's definitely bright and working.
Unfortunately, we're losing the light, so this quick project is going to take yet another day, but I think the solution is to bring these wires into the terminal block where the solar connection and the 7-way connection come in. There's a box up front, and we'll tie everything together there. It'll be a safe place to make that connection, and it will solve our problem. Thanks for watching. Check us out next week for more Airstream Life.